This 92-year-old man, he's teaching. It was like some kind of cranial touch for nutrition. And I get there and I'm checking it out. I'm like, wow, cool. There's all these little spots in the cranium that you can touch. And terrible.
Yeah.
There's all these little spots that no one ever talks about in the cranium. And they
Wow.
shut the body off and turn it on with nutrition, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is just so cool. I never imagined I would even be looking at something like this. And I went to him at lunchtime and I was like, oh my God, doc, I got a whole bunch of questions for you. And he looked at me and he held up a finger and he's just like, hold on. He looks off in the distance and he reached down and he touched his arm and he brought his arm. He's looking off in the distance somewhere, brought his finger all the way up here and stopped and snapped out of his zone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Flacker,
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
and this is the Haute Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we're talking with Dr. T. Get into that in just a minute. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell. We love getting new subscribers and really welcoming you in.
And share it with your friends. This is how we change the world. For today's Mystic Space Weather News, we do have some space weather news. It is very interesting because we are in a super full moon. This is the third super full moon in that collective of 3 full moons that we just had. So this is the last one of this year. And it goes on to, we go on to show that it brings clarity and shifted perspective, dissolving our past versions of ourselves and the weight of our past experiences. The highest rising full moon is in the intelligent Gemini, and this is by no coincidence. This full moon is here to shift our whole perspective 10x, enabling us to upgrade and access higher levels of understanding in our whole life. Listen, because I've been giving a whole lot of different, it sounds like a little bit doom and gloom.
I know, it did.
It wasn't. It was really about purging. So this is about meeting that new place in our lives and that new timeline. And I like the word 10x. I'm gonna bring that to everything, right?
Might as well start 10x now before January and our manifesting summit.
That's right. We do have a summit. So with that in mind, we're dissolving the weight of everything we've lived, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the battles, any ties to the past that are no longer a part of my destiny, your destiny, our destiny. A brand new version of ourselves will emerge after this full moon. And remember, this full moon is the 4th and 5th, so perfect timing, y'all.
Yeah.
And it really is after all of that kind of lull that we had. And entering after this full moon, we will be able to understand who we are better than ever before. One more quick little thing, I think you'll appreciate this, and it is that this also full moon in a little mystic side is the moon that meets the 7 stars. This full moon joins the Pleiades and a bright star cluster also known as the 7 Sisters. This special event is set to boost your intuition and clarity. You might suddenly have understanding things better and feel more in touch with your feelings. Pay attention to your gut instincts. I would even say open your Akashic records, your dreams, and notice everything that is trying to give you that guidance. Our guides are always trying to communicate with us. So please be on the lookout because it is super heightened and this is a really wonderful time. Yeah, and that's what I got from Mystic Space Weather News.
I just have to say, one of the things that I've really learned by you doing Mystic Space Weather News is that it's a part of our oneness with every single molecule in this world. And we like to think, I'm just an individual, moon's doing whatever, I can fight it almost.
Right, but one of the things we learned is that
fall into the doom.
But one of the things that we know is that in the Bible it says it is written. It doesn't mean that it's just right, that we're not all just super planned out like glue.
Yeah.
We have nexus points, and we talked about that on the last show. And we are part of a map. And so if you look at all the different things that are the synchronicities of the human design, of cosmology, everything. So we do have a guidepost for it all. So that's exciting too.
We have a little bit of celebrity woo in the news.
That's right.
And today's celebrity woo in the news, it features Kim Kardashian.
Yay.
I was watching their latest episodes of the Kardashians. And I even texted this to Leonka so she knows what I'm going to say. But I was like, Kim Kardashian speaks our language. Her she was studying for the bar exam and her computer went black. And all of a sudden she saw a picture of her father that had passed away, Robert Kardashian. And she said, when I saw it, there's this timestamp. So I Googled the angel number, and this is what it said.
Yeah, what did it say?
Oh,
What she was
something
talking
about being guided
Yeah.
and bold and powerful, and it happened when she was studying the bar, and I thought that was really quite interesting.
It is. Also, and one of the things that I thought was really important about that whole little segment that you sent me was that she had never seen that picture before.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy? It's on her laptop. It went to black and then it pops up with a picture she's never seen before
of him.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like they have all this media.
Real young. Yeah.
Like, how do you not see that picture before? So it definitely was meant to get her attention.
Oh, absolutely. I also need to mention, when we feel called, there's a license plate and it has something that draws us in, or a number.
Like 1111 on my
Yeah.
bracelet.
I really feel like it's important for us to seek out and be like,
Yeah.
what's behind this?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
in fact, I saw a blue jay today, and I'm going to say this real quickly. Okay, so before I walked away from this job to start all of this, right, there was this other job that came available, and it meant that I had to go back into the office right at the height of COVID. And I just did not feel really safe doing that. And I also knew my heart really wanted to do this work with you and really create something else. And so I put it out. I was like, God, universe, show me a sign, and I want my sign to be blue. And I was barely learning how to play with all this.
To be blue.
And if I am not meant to go, let me know and give me a sign that's in blue. And I want it today by 1 p.m.
Wow.
You know that I got
And put it
not
on a
one.
timetable.
I did. Yeah, I got not one, but 2 blue jays that were knocking at my back window, and they were like on the ledge, where they never do that before. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, I knew it. I rejected the offer, and I'm so absolutely glad that I did.
Yeah.
Because look at us today.
Wow, that's so awesome. Yesterday, she put out to the universe, anytime that my business partner does not listen to me, she's going to hear me. And I thought that was savvy of her. Her frequency changes my frequency. All right, let's bring up Dr. T and get going.
That's right. Dr. T is a creator of the total knowledge technique, a powerful healing method that blends science and spirituality and angelic energy. This training is designed for anyone ready to experience the transformation on the physical, emotional, and spiritual levels, and help others do the same. With a doctorate in chiropractic, a bachelor's in human biology, and advanced training in clinical hypnotherapy, Dr. T unites scientific depth with intuition, humor, and heart. Alongside with his private practice, he is a sought-after speaker, author, and teacher. Dr. T leads a new wave of holistic healing that connects directly with the angelic realm. His trainings empower you with the knowledge and pathways to direct this energy and become a channel for profound healing.
Welcome, Dr.
Thank
T.
you. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to be here.
Thank you. I love when we talk with doctors and people who have really worked with bodies, and they come to us with both this scientific blend and this spirituality insights as well. And I feel that you, from what I understand, is you really have this way of getting through to people and bodies with the energy and the frequency and working with the body. Can you talk to us a little bit about your background and really take us into when you started to work with the angels after chiropractic school?
I thought it was going to be a chiropractor. Crunch, crack, whack, and run to the next room and smash and crunch and track. My dad was a chiropractor, so I watched it for many years as a child growing up and got to experience all the cracking and smacking. And so I ended up in chiropractic college. That's a long journey in itself. That's really, I started having angelic experiences before chiropractic college. But when I decided to go to school, I thought I was going to be the biggest cruncher out there. And so the first week I'm in school, there you could take extracurricular classes. And so I took this class, this 92-year-old man, he's teaching, it was like some kind of cranial touch for nutrition. And I get there and I'm checking it out. I'm like, wow, cool. There's all these little spots in the cranium that you can touch. And terrible.
Yeah.
There's all these little spots that no one ever talks about in the cranium, and they
Wow.
shut the buddy off and turn it on with nutrition, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is just so cool. I never imagined I would even be looking at something like this. And I went to him at lunchtime and I was like, oh my God, doc, I got a whole bunch of questions for you. And he looked at me and he held up a finger and he's just like, hold on. He looks off in the distance and he reached down and he touched his arm and he brought his arm. He's looking off in the distance somewhere, brought his finger all the way up here and stopped and snapped out of his zone. And, what was your question, son? I said, what the hell was that? And he says, that was Rosemary in Kentucky. She called me this morning, was having heart murmurs. So I just fixed him for her real quick. Now, what was your question? I was like, questions for me. I'll see you later. Bye. I turned around, ran out of there like a little child. I had
It's like way out of your comfort zone. You're like,
oh,
what?
Like, come on, look, I'm a cruncher. Look at the size of these hands. I'm like, no, I'm going to be cracking bones and necks and legs and you name it. And I had been slightly introduced to some of this stuff, but not like that. And I just was like, oh, this guy, all the stuff, all the stereotypical stuff that goes to your mind went through my mind. I literally threw his books in the trash can, ran out of the room. I was like, okay, cuckoo, total cuckoo.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that,
I was like, oh yeah.
I'd be like, what
yeah,
black
and
magic?
somebody paid him for that. I just was like, okay, this is
Yeah,
And
I've
so,
been there.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
we both
So
have.
about a week later, I'm in another class, and here's a guy sitting in the corner, and I'm like, okay, I got to know what the hell's going on here. This was a doctor seminar. There's 500 doctors flew in from all over the place, and speakers. It was pretty much world famous. All of them were really top of the. They're all diabecs and applied kinesiology. It was a huge 500 doctors there, and the big speakers from all over the place. And this one guy is sitting in the corner, and I was like, I got to know what the hell's going on here. I've always been curious, but the other guy couldn't explain anything to me other than he treated somebody on the other side of the country. And so I went up and said, hey, so you're treating somebody somewhere else, huh? He was like, yeah, it's all quantum mechanics, son. Take a look at quantum mechanics. And oh, and hey, don't tell anyone about me back here.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started.
Wow.
I have to go back earlier in life, some other experiences with angels and how they started coming into my actual practice. So I started studying everything that was outside the world of chiropractic. I was having, I was having these crazy, I had migraines where anybody would touch any part of my body. I'd have a migraine. I'd be out for 5 days. And I was at that same seminar a couple weeks later. And this woman I was sitting with, I told her how I'm dying. I got these freaking headaches. I'm in chiropractic college every day. I'm getting palpated and I got to go in anyhow because you can't miss school. And she says, there's a doctor up front here who's really good. Let me go talk to him really quick. And so she ran down all the way to the front of this giant ballroom, Hilton at the LAX. And this doctor stands up, looks back at me, moves his hands around a little bit. And he comes back. He says, hey, son, yeah. Hey, man, you got a TMJ problem. I'm like, TMJ? I don't have any pain in my mouth. It feels fine to me because I'm pretty sure. And he grabs hold of my mouth and moves it around and pops it and leaves me alone. And been gone ever since. That was 30 years ago.
Wow.
So I first went and started studying with him because he saw me remotely across the room and did a treatment that fixed these migraines.
Wow.
And so I just started picking apart how all that worked. And he led me into down the road of studying different things, Neuralink, theta healing, NET, all kinds of different, primarily energetically based techniques. And I got really good at a few of them and I started practicing with that. And I had a woman come in one day and she had sorry, it's kind of a long story, but I'll make it quick as I can. She had two sons. She's, I have one asshole son and I have a saint for a son. I want you to treat the asshole first, and then I want to bring the saint in. And so I said, bring the asshole in, let's get going. And she was right. He wasn't very kind and he was,
You could sense that.
oh yeah, no, he was how it was. But anyhow, then the saint was supposed to come in a week later and she showed up by herself and the saint was supposed to come in and she says, I said, oh, hey, where's the saint? And she says, oh, he was killed this morning in a car accident on his way home from work.
Wow.
He worked at the midnight shift and was on his way home at 6 o'clock in the morning and got hit by an ambulance, ran a red light on a code 3 call, killed him. And he went home and woke her up and said, hey, I still want to go see this doctor. So she
Love that.
And so this is the first thing out of her mouth and she's standing at my doorway. And I'm like, oh, come on in. Let's see what's going on. So I bring her in, come back to my office and he started talking to me through her.
Yes.
And he says to her, and she says, he tells me that you don't believe me. And I said, no, I believe you. I've never met somebody who has a dead son still talking to him. And she says, he tells me that you have a shotgun wrapped up in a camouflage jacket buried in your basement underneath a bunch of boxes.
Oh my God.
My jaw almost hit the floor. I almost lost my number 2. Nobody no one. I promised
I'd
my
be
girlfriend at
running.
the time I was going to get rid of the shotgun. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
picked the one thing that nobody
Right.
knew about that. I wrapped it
Right.
up in my old army jacket and buried it so that no one
Right.
would ever find it. And
And
so I
she
said,
wasn't supposed to know you still had it.
yeah, she didn't know. He picked the one thing that no one knew but me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does he want me to know? And then he started telling me about angels. And that he started telling me some of my life experiences. I've had a couple of angelic experiences in my life and different. I was shocked to death. That's all in my book in case you haven't seen it sitting around here today.
Yeah.
Some of the early life stuff that I experienced, he told me about all of it.
Yeah.
I was just sitting, I just couldn't hardly believe it. And then he started telling me about this house. This house was a new house. They brought you here. This is where they want you to learn how to use them. And the story went on for a minute. She stood there and talked to me for a half an hour, telling me all this stuff. I'm just like,
Wow.
I was blown away. And did I start working with angels then? Of course not. They didn't come around for 10 years. I
But
tried
yeah, I
all the
feel like that
time.
we have to
Okay,
persist.
angels,
I appreciate you
please help.
saying that.
And not a freaking
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you putting it that way and bringing a little bit of humor into it because honestly, I think a lot of people here can relate. Like, how many times do we get that 2x4 just, they're like, hey, let me get your attention. I have walked a lot of fire before I got here. Y'all heard it took me 2 Blue Jays like knocking on my back door. Look, you are gonna go do something different.
If we can move into the deeper conversation, I want to understand how you work with people today and really tell us about your program, that total knowledge
Technique. I should have come up with a better name. I should have had angels in there somewhere because people are like, what the hell is this? We came up with it in a bar 30 years ago.
Hey.
Long before I had planned on ever teaching anything. It was me and another peer. We were studying with some other guy and we were in the bar after the study all day long and having a beer. And he was like, how's he doing this? How's he doing? I said, you skip all that. Go right to this. Just forget about all that baloney he's doing. You don't need all that stuff. Just go right to this. And he's like, that makes so much more sense than what he was teaching. I was like, yeah, there's so much extra fluff out there. Just cut all that shit out. I'm a farmer. I'm originally from a farm, and so I know how to get stuff done. And he starts laughing. He's, oh my God, you got to teach a class. I said, I don't have anything to teach. He says, oh, you're teaching his stuff better than he is. I'm like, oh man, I can't teach somebody else's work. He says, I said, besides, what will we call it? He said, you're going to call it dynamite. I said, no, I don't. No one will come for dynamite, but maybe they'll come for TNT.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Real cute. I love it. They will come for
so
TNT.
And so I call it total knowledge technique because I was doing all these different techniques and then seeing different things. Some stuff would work for some people. Everybody's different. Different things work for people. That's why everyone has, oh, my chiropractor is the best, or my acupuncturist does it better. It's all that is true to a certain sense, but it's all intention, and certain energies align with other energies better than other people. It's just how it is. But I started noticing, when I started studying with some of these masters, I was just curious. I was always like, God, how the hell did he figure this out? He afflict the talus and it erases trauma from the sacrum. How the hell did he figure this out? And all of them would keep telling me the same thing. Just keep looking. All you can do is keep looking, keep being curious, try different things. And so that's where all the knowledge really comes before the angels. I learned a lot of things that people were suffering from that I would have success with, and I'd write them all down. Oh, this is unheard of. This isn't in science anywhere. I've never read this or studied this anywhere. And so I had a whole list of these things. Yeah, I had all these things, and it's all kinds of stuff. There's lots of things. And then when angels came along, I just started taking all those things and saying, hey, angels, take a look at this. And we just started having absolute miracles. Absolutely. Wow. I expect a miracle several miracles every week, especially when I have a bunch of new people. So it's just how it is now, because we've taken all of quantum mechanics, active observation, imagination, intention, belief, visualization, all the pieces that occur in quantum mechanics, and then have asked angels to come in and do the work.
Oh my gosh,
Angels
you were talking my yummy language. I love it so much.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
And so with what we're promoting, I'll just skip this really quick today, is what I'm promoting today is this self-healing course. I've taken 90% of all that knowledge and plugged it in there.
Wow.
So I'm taking most of TNT and plugged it into the self-healing course. It's really, there's stuff in there that no one knows about. No doctor will ever agree, that would ever even heard of a lot of these things. And I know that sounds a little braggo, but it's not bragging at all. It's just stuff I discovered. And I wanted to mention, really quick. I wanted to mention really quick about Kim Kardashian. And and her computer, because people who have passed and angels and other interdimensional beings and intelligences are able to communicate through the electronic medium occasionally. I've had it happen a few times, and I've had a number of people tell me about it. And also another big one is birds for people who have passed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if you have a loved one who's passed and you have a bird lands on your window out of the blue, that's probably that person coming to you, just showing you they're still around.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that stuff. And I've heard about a ton of it in my practice over the years.
Of course, of course. And what I wanted to point out to people was that when you were doing the study, when you're making these journalistic reports of saying this changed this and it had success with this, and then the angels came in, we're talking at a time where probably the internet wasn't where you did this medium, where you didn't have other people just to bounce these ideas off of, and where it's very taboo. I remember just a decade ago when Jennifer and I were working on this stuff, probably a little bit more than a decade now, but it was still super taboo. And we're just now getting to the precipice where people are using, where science, where quantum mechanics is truly and documented, and people are coming out and talking about it, where scientists aren't as afraid as they used to be talking about it, to substantiate all the things that we've been knowing as far as what the ancients have been telling us for forever, and what you have done in your research, because I'm sure that there was pieces of knowledge that had not reached humanity in the way that we couldn't have had until this timing. Does that make sense? Until someone like you takes the time and actually says, this is what changed for this. I kept looking and I got this. So I absolutely believe that you have stuff in there that no one other doctors probably have. Yes.
I feel like that about our work too.
I agree.
Yeah. We've had these conversations with so many people that our belief systems aren't where a lot of people are.
That's true too.
Because we've done this for so.
It's like research, of course.
It's like research. Yeah. Every single conversation.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. I watched a couple of the shows to get ready for this, but the most important thing is that you're having fun. Because having fun
in general
changes everything, because we're not here that long, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
We got to have as much fun and joy and cheer and holiday. People are like, oh, it's the holidays, we're going to have a happy. We need to have that every day. We need to have that every single day. That's just how it's supposed to be. We're breathing, we have our health, we have our family, friends, and this experience of life is so delicate, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, very much.
Dr. T, do you still work on bodies?
I haven't seen somebody live in so long. I forget what it's like.
So
no, I'm joking.
Remotely.
I'm kind of joking on it. When I teach my classes, obviously I'm seeing a lot of people live, and I'm here in Nicaragua, and a lot of the locals, anybody gets hurt or something, they want to come around, I'll see them. But I'm 100% remote doctor. If you call me, I have people call me a lot of times, like, oh yeah, we want to get in next week, and we're in Europe, and I heard about you in Europe, and we want to fly over there and this and that. I don't have an office here. You see, my office is right here. This is where I do my work. So it's funny, but usually they're like, it's scoliosis. How can you fix scoliosis? And so much of our ills are emotional. So much are emotional, spiritual, but emotion is the big one. And then there's some other organic stuff that I've been discovering, cataloging, registering, that once that emotion is cleared out, we're able to get to that with angels. But so much of everything has to do with emotion. It's probably 70-80% of our ills.
We would agree.
Yeah.
Whether it's this lifetime or past, whether we come forward with it or experience something in this lifetime, many times we don't even remember it. It could be our mother's anxiety in utero. It could be, there's so many things that it could be that drive us. And with emotion, I think that's the biggest part of this angelic heart focus, is how well we're able to deal with emotion. The reason I put this out is I was kind of like, I really want to get more people working with their own angels. And that's what this is. You talked about guides earlier, I think, and we all have different definitions of what's actually happening. People want to talk about interdimensional healing and this and that sort of thing. I'm like, hey, I'm game with that. I really need to take care of myself and people here in this right now, so people feel better here right now. The angels, they're in one of those dimensions, and when they have the knowledge that we've discovered and brought forth, and plug in quantum mechanics with the knowledge, they come in and do the work like that. It's nearly instantaneous.
Can we sample some of your work?
I was going to say, one of the ways that we are able to share with the audience is to maybe experience your work a little bit. Would it be
absolutely not?
You made me laugh.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy to. Yeah, no, experiencing it makes it real.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that now post-COVID, that's a whole nother show we would have to do. The whole world
Yeah.
changed in case
Oh
no
my
one's
gosh.
noticed all the stuff that's been
And
unleashed upon
and
us.
as we talk about emotions, there are a lot of empty seats at tables right now. And that comes up again when we have
Mm.
these times of the year when
Mhm.
people are thinking about who's missing from a holiday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we lost a lot of people on this world during COVID
Yeah.
at one particular point in time. So just want people to remember that too, that we have a collective and we are picking up on each other's sometimes grief. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And not only grief, but also fear. There's
Oh
so much
gosh.
design into that.
Okay, guys, quick pause. We've got something really close to our hearts to share with you today.
Yeah, that's right. If you've been feeling off or like your energy is scattered or you're just not feeling like you, we got you. We know we both had those days.
Yep, and that's why we've had chakra harmonics created for you by a sound engineer. It's a 7-hour sound healing journey that's truly been a game changer.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's 7 tracks, each one an hour long, specifically tuned to each chakra. And we're not talking about just relaxing. These are sound frequencies that truly shift things.
Yeah, one of my favorite ways is to use it while I'm reading. I just put them in the background, read my book, and then in a few minutes, I feel really alive and clear.
It's so lovely. And the cool thing is, the whole thing is just $27. No fluff, no hidden fees, nothing like that. Just beautiful, powerful energy that you can come back to use time and time again.
Yeah, so if you're needing a reset, head on over to houtehustle.com/chakra. That's houtehustle.com/chakra and give them a try.
Now, back to the show.
Start.
I would go.
What-
I would go. Yes. Yes.
I think one of the big things that I find when I do these kinds of calls and that sort of thing, we do a lot of promotional calls on our website. If you sign up on our website, you get an email. We do a lot of promotional calls for the classes that are coming up. And so we've done, I don't know, probably 20, 30 of them, 50, 60 people. And one of the running narratives here in the last couple of years has been unfounded anxiety. So for no reason at all,
Talking about that.
someone's,
Yeah.
why am I so damn nervous? Why am I scared? Why am I panicked?
It's so wild.
Anyone on here experience that? How about
No.
either you two? Do
No,
you
that's a frequency that commonly goes through me.
Oh yes. And
Yeah.
also raise your hand. You can raise your hand and ask a question as well.
I would like to volunteer as a,
Sure.
if that's okay. I have a leg thing that I am working through. I get PRP injections and I've had stem cell therapy. I had a really bad injury about 10 or so years ago. And I wanted to see if there was anything you could contribute to this and how that we would.
He's
You have a joker on here, right? That stuff never works. What are you wasting your money for?
It's worked so well. I went from not walking at all. So I believe that from a scientific way, that stem cell stuff did do some goodness. It's just
Well,
not totally repaired.
you're amongst the few. I haven't seen that often. I've only seen a handful of cases where someone did that. I usually get the failed, of course, I get the failed ones that it didn't work for us.
You wouldn't hear if
Yes.
it all worked out.
Yeah, unfortunately. And what happened? Did you break the hip?
No, I was in a yoga class and I was doing the splits and literally the joint popped out for a second and all the labral stuff around it. There's just extensive labral tearing.
So this is one of the things I discovered a long time ago that I was using different techniques on, and I would have some good results, but not nearly as much as now. Anytime we get injured, whether it's a twisted ankle, burn a finger, how many of you have had a paper cut that just wouldn't go away? Took a month for a paper cut, right?
Mhm.
I
People
mean,
shaking
it's
their
what
head,
I
yeah.
know. It's the one I
Paper cut.
noticed the most. I'm like, why is this paper cut the thing that I
Nail
noticed?
even.
Starts pissing you off. Why
Yeah.
does this thing sting so bad for?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that's all microbes in your body that move into an area of inflammation. And that's what happens when you dislocate a hip. Yes, you do
Right.
physical injury, but it won't heal up because your own microbes move into that location and set up shop. And what do they do when they set up shop in an area of inflammation? What would you do if you were hanging out with a bunch of other friends in some strange location? You're probably
Start
going to start a
partying.
family. You're going to have sex. You're going to have a family. You're going to, do you have to go to the bathroom? You're going to do all of those things. And these microbes have consciousness. And I know that's a little
Mhm.
odd, but this
No,
is,
I love
I
it.
believe it. I
We-
believe it.
this
I
is
know
all
they
real
do.
because if it wasn't real, I wouldn't have success that I have. Just an example, say you did the splits and you said, son of a bitch, you were really mad. You probably said, holy shit. But if you were really angry, you would have had more anger microbes move into that hip and they would start secreting chemicals that keep you in a state of anger.
Oh, bless my little
wow.
lucky stars. My
Okay.
goodness.
Now,
I'm
that
with
probably
you.
didn't happen to you. You're not a really an angry person, but other people
Oh,
out there
well.
who don't know why I'm just pissed off all the time. I don't know why. They probably had that happen. And these bugs,
Mhm.
when you have an accident like that and you're in a state of anger, these bugs eat the chemicals that your body releases. And so what do they want? They want more of that. They want more of that. It's food. And so
Uh-huh.
they continue to release these chemicals that have you create a short fuse.
Like
I
they're like
know that
little
sounds weird,
entities.
but
Yeah.
this is how it is.
No, it sounds like it's for real.
Oh,
It's landing a little
No,
too.
it's landing really loudly in my world.
Oh my
Yeah.
So
gosh.
keep talking because I'm with you a little bit. But I think my next question is if that had landed with anger, frustration,
I'm
or
pretty sure you turned on the Italianana at that moment.
my Italiana, if it could have, yeah, I mean, because I was more like,
Holy
what the F?
just slap anybody. Usually as Italian, they usually slap the nearest person. So
We're just very loud people.
so what hip is it? Is it your right hip?
It's my right.
Your right hip. And you said this was 10 years ago.
Yeah, ish. It's probably been more like 15. I
Oh,
think,
okay.
yeah, it was almost like 2007 or 8.
Okay, so let's
It's
have you
been a
just,
while.
this is part of the training. Part of what we do is you always want to do a before and after. So if you would just stand up, maybe walk around your chair and sit back down and just get a sense of how much pain is in there, that would be
Okay.
good for us to
Okay,
make a
great.
measurement.
Yeah.
It's just part of the work. And
Good
I'm
thing
just going to
we-
start here because we look at a lot of
I don't know
stuff.
that I am
You're okay.
tethered
You're
here.
okay. I got you. I got you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, some of it's nerve pain, right? So it travels down to my instep. So I would say right now it's probably a 2.5 or a 3,
Okay, so not too much, but that's a different
but it's
diagnosis.
always, right?
Yeah, that's
In
more
there.
like a sciatic. That's more like a sciatic issue also.
Yes,
because
and I've
it's
had
nerve.
PRP done on my sacrum, and it seems like when
Okay.
the PRP is in there, the inflammation does go away.
Yeah, sciatic is another one that I find 90% of it is driven by a microbe. And I know
Yeah.
that sounds odd because I'm sure if there's any chiropractors listening, oh, this guy is absolutely crazy. But
Mhm.
I fix it all the time. I fix sciatic. We see it we see it, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of cases of sciatic that when I treat a pathogen with angels, it goes away. Now it tends to take, this
Oh.
may take a little bit of time for this to completely heal because what they're
Yeah.
doing is eating what's called the myelin sheath. That's also food for certain types of microbes. But really, everything else looks fine. So let's have in your mind, just close your eyes and just go back to
Okay.
when you actually had that accident. You're just like, holy shit, what the
Yes.
hell? All I want to ask is, what the hell were you doing the splits for?
Well,
You're a white
I
girl.
had
You're
done
not
them in a
Indian.
hot yoga class. I'd done them in a hot yoga class the night before. So I just wanted to show it off. I was like, look, guys, I can finally do the splits. So it was a little ego driven here.
Ouch.
And then I
Sorry.
wrote for class and it was this audible.
Oh, that's a big injury, dislocating a hip.
Yeah.
That's a big injury, actually.
And I did expect it to just heal. And I just kept doing yoga and kept expecting it to heal for the longest time until it got to 2020. And then it was like, wait, something I got to do.
A lot of stuff that you hear about this out here is confusion. Like we think that stretching all the time is really good. Not if you have an injury like that. You don't want to stretch it ever.
I've heard
Not
that.
for a year, because once they know where to go, they'll go back to those injury sites.
Right.
One of my first clients was a yoga instructor, and this guy could hardly move. I'm like, you're a yoga instructor. What's going on?
Yeah.
because
And he
you
had
know,
knee braces, elbow pads, wristbands. The guy had a bandage on every appendage. And fixed 90% of it. And he started sending me people. And I was just like, I just started noticing it was always those white people who just couldn't do yoga. I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to start telling white people, stop doing yoga.
I stopped doing it.
Pilates is
Yeah.
better.
I went to Pilates. Now I'm off to Pelotoning. I Peloton
nice.
and Pilates a little.
So Janice, let's have you take a breath in and take a breath out. It's actually pretty good little smack you got there. So let me just do a little more here. because I looked at the nerve is what I looked at, and now the labrum itself, we still got some issues in there a little bit. When you're under load, like you're carrying bags going up a hill or that sort of thing, is worse, to make it worse.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in the labrum itself, and they love those tissues. I don't know why,
Hmm.
but they're no match for angels. They just come in, and what happens is this is what I do all day long. I'm looking at your hip, right? I'm looking.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at all those things attach. I'm looking all the little muscles that come in. The nerve itself is on a different page, but that's the
Wow.
act of observation, right? I'm telling Angela, hey, go right in here. This is how quantum mechanics works.
Yep.
And of course, I've
It
only
is.
done this 5,000 times. So I'm just like, yeah, get in there and take care of this. What are you doing? Figure out the exact frequency to
Uh-huh.
match that bug that's driving this, that's eating away in there, and they just explode. So
Wow.
it's not an amp coil, it's not a rife machine. These are angels that come in and do the work. And it's our intention for them to do that. And that's what powers the total knowledge technique. And that's also what powers the angelic heart focus. It's just a little bit different. We have a few more angels that we access with TNT. It is the flagship training, but the angelic heart focus, you could do the same thing that I'm doing right now with that. And let's have you take a breath in and breathe out. And let's have you walk again and see how that feels.
Okay. It's
Walk in
different.
a little bit in front of the camera. So can you bring
Walk in front of the camera.
That's it.
If I can get through all these cords and back. All right.
Had it a long
Yeah,
time, so we'll
it's still there a little, for sure. Yeah. But I also, usually when I've been seated, I need to activate things.
Oh, this has been there a long time, been there 10 years. So I didn't expect to get 100% of this, but I did expect
Yeah.
it to change some,
It has
even if it went
changed
from
some.
it has changed some. So now it should be able to heal up. So what I do is I come back, I take another look just to make sure, did we get everything in there? I get a yes on that when I ask the
Okay.
question. So I'm pretty sure that's going to heal up now.
Oh,
That's
I mean,
yes.
I would be shocked if we didn't talk in a month and you weren't 100% better. No stretching, give it a couple of months. Then you can
Yeah.
slowly start stretching that again. Mushrooms are
Uh-huh.
really good for myelin sheath healing,
What
lion's
is
mane,
good?
that sort of thing.
Mushrooms, okay.
Mushrooms.
Beautiful. Her business partner very much thanks you.
Right.
I do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Well, we talked about unfounded anxiety. That's another one that I find there's an organic cause of it, and it's really been amplified ever since COVID.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
let's
very
go down
suspect.
that rabbit hole.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I
Okay.
feel like that is more of a collective frequency and energy that
Yeah.
people are experiencing.
Yeah.
100%. Anyone on here who thinks that they have that or don't have that, it doesn't really matter if you think you have it or not. Just have everybody close your eyes.
Okay.
Any type of mushroom. I like lion's mane is the best for healing a nerve.
I already take that.
And I'll be
Yeah, lion's
redoing
mane.
her. I like
Well, the problem with you, Jennifer, was you can take that, but if you had a cause in there still eating away, you can take it all you
Yeah.
want. It's not going to go away. I think it'll
Okay.
go away. Now they're going to work.
Do
No,
I
that's what
need to
think.
address the emotion? You said I might have locked it in with anger or something.
good
Yeah,
question.
I would continue with that. If I was working with you, yeah, we would go down that road. But if we take care of some of this unfounded anxiety, that's going to help it also, because that is triggering norepinephrine and different chemicals that
Mhm.
stop healing. They're stress chemicals,
Yes.
cortisol, some of these other ones that we need some of that, but not all the time. And again, what I'm talking about with unfounded anxiety is just wake up. Oh, yeah, why am I so nervous? And the other way that we tell this is if everyone would just close your eyes. And what you do is bring to mind being scared, bring to mind being panicked. Oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? Nervous or scared or threatened, trapped. If anyone feels that physically in their body, that's unfounded anxiety, because I'm not bringing them to mind when you got robbed or anything like that. If you just
Yes.
bring to mind having anxiety, being scared and fearful and frightful, if you feel a buzz, a physical sensation, that's unfounded anxiety.
Mhm.
Does anyone not feel that?
I know, right? Because it's
Everyone
very
feels
low
that, right?
level.
Yeah, it's very hard.
That might be low level, but if you feel it physically, you can do this with any emotion. That's how you know if an emotional treatment is working or not. Is if the practitioner moves your mind into anger and you physically feel it, you have it. It's still affecting you. Same
Okay.
thing with grief, same thing with rejection, humiliation, shame, all of
Oh,
them.
yeah. Oh,
If
God.
and there's so many emotional treatments out there, and I've had people all the time come in, oh, I've dealt with that. I've talked about it for 25 years. I've seen NET, I've seen this, I've seen all this stuff. And I go, okay, no problem. Close your eyes. What's it feel like when you've had your heart broken and stomped
Yeah.
on by and kicked down the roads? That's anchored. That's not gone.
Mhm.
That's still in the body. So we're going to do this treatment for unfounded anxiety because what I have found is that it is something in the vagus nerve that's in there all the time, and it's chewing away in the vagus nerve, probably the most important nerve track in the body.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I would ask everybody to just take a breath in and breathe out and just relax your minds the best you can. And what I do is I have the angels come in. We have the protocol itself is what I do every single day. It's what you'll learn in the TNT class. And for the most part, most of it is the same in the self-healing course. It's just that you're using your own guardian angel, your own guides. When we talk about guides, I think they're your guardian angels. Some people have more than a couple, some have a whole bunch, but we all have at least one. And that's what I'm hoping to do with that class is to get all of us working with our angels where I think we all can agree that we have a little battle on our hands between good and evil right now.
Mhm.
And we need everybody calling forth their angels because they've got a big job on their hands right now.
And it's not coming from a place of fear when you say that. And that's not fear
No,
mongering. In other words, when you say that, I feel, and for the same reason we have this show, that we can really have everybody awaken and working with their angels. We do bring the love. And there's not a battle to be had if we helping more people awaken. And that's why I love doing the show. And I love having wonderful people on like you that say that.
it's so true. You hit it right on the nose. Every time we do this, every time, so it looked like I was working on Jenna, but that's not true. I worked on the entire
Yeah.
planet, every human being. I don't
Yes.
care where they're at. This is consciousness medicine using
Wow.
angels,
Yes.
is what this
Yes.
is. So it looks like I'm working just on Jenna. We do this all the time on these calls that we do, these promotional calls, and we have seen
Oh,
absolute.
that's wonderful.
I worked on the wrong person one time, and the right person got better. That's how I'm not,
I
it wasn't
love
just
it.
once, it happened a couple of times. And it's mind blowing when you see that because everyone's, no, I've never taken your class, but it is gone. So I got the wrong Joe. Sorry about that.
I love it. Yeah, I guess that is how Ho'oponopono works, right? That you go out and you work on yourself. And if there's a whole room of people that are working on themselves to heal and repair what was dis-ease, then there would be more of a collective frequency of that specific thing
Mhm.
too.
It's one
Well,
thing
I
I was
love
trying
that.
to share.
I love that. And I don't know, I've never studied that. I do love that. And I had a class last summer where we had 10 people. The 10 people had tinnitus. And tinnitus is another one that's been new into our
Mhm.
world these days since COVID. Tinnitus is a
Yeah.
buzzing in the ears.
Mhm.
It's one of many new diseases we have. Never seen so much cancer, never seen so many crazy things pop up since COVID in my practice. But here we are. I'm in a class of, I don't think we had 25 people, and half of them have tinnitus. So bad, they're like, oh, it's driving me crazy. So I
Mhm.
did a group treatment for tinnitus on everyone, and we were lucky. We had eight people, 8 of the 10 people. It disappeared. It's still gone. A couple years later here now, or a year and a half later. One woman regained hearing in an ear. She was deaf in one ear, so her tinnitus went away in the other ear, but she also regained her hearing. And only one person didn't get better, treating the whole group because angels will just come in and it's just a frequency, just a
Yeah.
vibration. So that's what I'm doing right now to this vagus nerve tract for everyone, and they're
Wow.
done. So I
Yes.
would
Yeah.
ask you to take a little breath in and
Yeah,
take a little
Denise was
breath out.
asking. She was asking, she goes,
Yeah,
what is
that the
nerve
vagus
healing?
nerve healing. I have no idea what frequency is. The angels know. I just asked them to come in and do it. There's all
Yeah.
this stuff out there now about,
Uh-huh.
oh, it's this frequency, it's that frequency. Sorry,
Wow.
none of that stuff is true anymore. It's all changing because humanity has completely changed. We were continually changing.
Yes.
So with the work I do, we use the concept of modulation. We're asking the angels, hey, find that exact vibration that's going to
Love
match
that.
what's causing this unfounded anxiety, and they just do it for you. And again, I've seen all
Yeah.
the toys out there, rife machines, amp coils. There's, oh God, there's cheat machines. There's all kinds of stuff that make claims, but those people usually call me when they need help.
It's funny
So,
as we're doing the
so
vagus nerve thing, I feel like I'm getting this rhythm of heat all through my leg.
the vagus nerve goes to
Nervous.
all your organs. It goes to
Yeah.
heart, lungs, liver, gallbladder, colon. It does the
Mhm.
whole. It feeds all your organs in your whole body.
Mhm.
The biggest ones are probably the adrenal glands. That's why I find this unfounded anxiety so often based in that nerve. They love the adrenal glands for some reason.
Wow.
So if we go back now, I'll have everybody close your eyes again like we did when we started, and I say, what about being threatened or trapped or uncertain or panicked or anxious or frightened?
Wow.
I know.
Holy
I was
moly, are
thinking,
you serious with this?
that's so subtle, huh?
Big difference.
Oh,
Should be a big
wow.
difference. Should be like,
I feel like the whole call is chiller.
it should be a big difference. It should just like
Denise
a
threw like a
lot
little party
quieter.
sign on the thing. Oh my God, this is
And for me, they come in and the angels I do arc with people. So I have like goosebumps.
Yeah.
I'm in
yes,
Nicaragua, so it's nice and
yes.
warm here.
I
All
do
the
that.
hair
I do
stands on end. Yeah,
that.
yeah, everybody has something different. I just tend to
Yeah.
arc a little bit.
Wow.
But yeah, these frequencies they're not from man. They're not man-made. There's
Yeah.
so much frequency healing
Wonderful.
out there, but these are omnipotent beings. They're in another dimension. They're just waiting to come and help us. And everyone has their own that's with them all the time. I've done a lot of, I don't know, 60, 70 podcasts. I did one with a doctor one time, and the doctor was, oh my God, hold on, I'm a doctor now. You lost half my audience. I said, that's okay. You only have 12 people following us right now. So I'll take the one who's still on. And then
It's
started
kind of
moving.
sad.
Yeah. What the funny part is that he had a bad shoulder. And so he couldn't put his hand behind his back. He couldn't raise it over his head. He couldn't do any of the stuff. And so I started doing my gig. And by the end, it was completely gone. His arms flopping over. He's going all the way behind his back, this and that. But he says, there's still sleight of hand out there. I'm
Sleight
just
of
like, whatever,
hand.
dude.
But you know what
What
else
did I
that
do?
also means, and I think we should address it, is going back to a reference point. So the amount of time that I've worked on a body on a table and then they're fine and they're like, oh my God, such an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And then the next week some of it's still there, but I still have this now. And maybe an energy changed, but it makes me go, okay, sometimes people's belief systems will come back to the reference point that will then reintegrate it. And they're like, oh, it was just a moment in time.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
How do you and the angels approach that? Yeah.
With the work that we do and in the self-healing course, I spent a ton of time looking at that. And what that is, what I call those they're just distortions. And there's so many. But other people talk about that. All we do is clear it. What does that mean exactly? What exactly are you doing? Because angels don't understand just clear it. They don't understand that. They need the knowledge. And so there's all kinds of things. If you, like with you did the splits, you're Italian. So you did Italian splits and dislocated your hip. Is there any other Italians who did the splits who dislocated their hip? Sure there is.
Yes.
Sure there is. I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
So is it possible that because we are all connected that you might start resonating with that particular group of people and maybe hold that in the body? Well, certainly.
Absolutely.
You got in a car accident and broke your hip. Was there anybody else in a car accident that broke their hip? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we start resonating with that field. And that can be the field of ALS. It can be the field of cancer. It can be the field of anything. So this is just an example. I think we have about 15 of these sorts of things that we look at in the Angelic Heart Focus and TNT as well. I think I brought all of them over from TNT, all the different things that we start paying attention to, and we don't want that. Are there any creepers out there? You ever go to the grocery store and you're like, holy shit, I'm going down a different aisle because I don't want to be around that person. Yeah, you better believe there is.
Yes.
Everybody better believe there is. And it's getting a little more crazy out there.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I'm like, hey, if I can do anything to help humanity, doing it by myself, one-on-one, even teaching TNT is not enough. So that's why I developed this heart focus technique and this angelic heart focus to really try to get people to start, hey, I need some help here, Angel, because every time you ask for help, it comes into this dimension. And it makes it more and more easy. And the people who have gone through the TNT, I have a mentorship every month that we do. I think we have 30 people on there. Everyone's having the same results. People and most of them are like housewide. There's very few doctors have taken the work. They just maybe 10 have taken the work.
We need
They're
to change
mostly just
that.
people who are interested in doing healing, mothers
Yeah.
or their kids,
Yes.
people who are
Those are
just
the best kind of
curious.
doctors there are, the mothers for the
Yeah,
kids, right?
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I really tried to put a lot of stuff in there in the appendix about how to take care of yourself. You get burned. How do you want to take care of that? If you have this or that or this,
Oh.
what over and above just using angels, how else can you fix that?
Oh, I
It's,
bet.
it's really a neat course. I love teaching it,
Cool.
and
We can
I'm
bring
really
up
excited
like,
about the angelic heart focus because that's
Yeah,
where
let's
everybody
talk
just
about that. Because I'm super duper interested. I'm so glad that you brought that to us for the audience. And it's obviously you put your heart's work into this and it shows, and we're really excited about it. So as soon as she gets it pulled up.
well,
we're gonna-
angelic heart focus. Let's see who really needs this. If you raise your left arm, you raise your left arm, you take your right arm and you put your right hand in your armpit and you width of your hand, one width down, right in the center of your mid-axillary line. You don't have to poke hard. You just press in there some.
yeah.
And how
Like
many
an
people is
EMT
that tender on?
Mine
Who's
being
tender?
I don't mind.
Who's tender there? Don't, yeah, see, yeah, I know. 90% of you are going to be tender there. How did I know that? Years of practice.
Yeah.
It took me years to figure this out. I would go through the body and I would palpate somebody. I was doing techniques where you would start at their tippy toes and go through their whole body, palpate everything. And I kept finding this spot. And I'm like, what the hell? That's another, but put it on my list. Put it on my
Yeah.
list. And
Yeah.
pretty soon I started recognizing that is the heart channel. And it's tender when we've been injured.
That's why you want us to go this way. I gotcha.
Yep,
I
it's right.
gotcha.
It's equal. It's lateral with the heart
Yeah.
only underneath your left armpit,
Yep.
What's the left?
which is
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
heart
I
is.
knew that's why you want us to go this way. Yeah.
So the angelic heart
Yes.
focus, we use that as the entry exit point. And of course, I'm sure you all have been hearing about heart brain resonance coming out,
Yes.
how the heart has its own nervous system, its
Yes.
own circulatory system. It has its own memory, the heart.
Oh, yeah.
They take a heart out of somebody and transplant into somebody else. That person starts wanting pizza. They never
Isn't
had
that
pizza before. They
crazy?
want to drink
Yes.
beer. They want to change all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, yeah,
They want to change
yeah.
their gender with a heart transplant.
For that one, but I believe
having,
it.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
having
yeah.
all this crazy stuff with that. So when that's tender, it's closed. You got hurt at some moment in time, is
Mine's
what that
tender.
means. And it just hasn't opened back up. Yeah, I know it's weird, but that's what's going on there. So I'll have you close your eyes
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to be imagining clearly in your mind, breathing in through that spot that was tender. You don't need to touch it. You just imagine breathing in through that spot. So let's have you imagine breathing in compassion for yourself and fill your entire body. Fills your entire body, and you tell it, I see, recognize, and release all grief and sadness. And you see it leave back up the body from the bottom of the feet through that heart channel out into the universe. And now that you have that in your mind, you're going to do it again. You're going to breathe in through the heart channel, compassion for yourself, love, leniency, kindness. Fills your entire body. I see, recognize, and release all grief and sadness, and see it go back out through that heart channel out into the universe. And take a small breath in
Oh.
and a small breath out. And all of you can go back and touch that again. Renee's was really tender. And when I used to push on this on people, I have to be really gentle because they would levitate and fly off the table depending on what happened. Now it should be at least, there should be 80% better. Anybody's not 80% better?
I had to search for mine, whereas before when I touched it, it was like, oh, well, yep, it's super tender right now. And now I had to go and search to see it. Yes, it is. At first I was
You
like,
might
where'd it
find a
go?
little tiny spot, but you might find a
Holy
little tiny
moly.
spot, but that will go away. That will go away over the next day because the big
Wow.
spot, the big flat hand is
Oh,
gone. It should
I
be reduced
didn't have it
80%.
tender.
If anybody's not
Holy
80%,
moly.
put it in the chat. Yeah,
You're
nothing
really
close to
bugging
the
on my
floor,
arm.
Renee. Awesome. So right
Wow.
now, you're gonna sleep tonight. When you sleep, your mind is gonna process a certain emotion. You may have some odd dreams. You may have some stuff. It's usually very gentle. It's usually you won't notice any difference other than you're just gonna be a little lighter. And what I figured out through testing is that you were more clear to offer love and to receive love.
It's funny.
That your heart is now more open to it. And this can go
Yes.
back to when we're children. And we could have had loving parents, but one time they said, hey, take your hand off that hot pan. And it went in and wounded the heart. And that will stay
Yeah.
that way until something comes in and fixes it. So Paula,
Wow.
I see Paula also had to push really hard to find yours.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
that
that's
might
like
not
me.
that may not be the heart channel. You don't have to push hard. You don't have to dig hard. It's
Awesome.
usually a really broad contact. But just to make sure, I'm going to do a quick angelic blast. And this is all TNT.
This is
That's a flagship,
so
right?
crazy,
Gotta have
y'all.
flagship. Gotta have something
This never
extra
happened
special.
on the show before.
Okay, yes.
Like the whole audience
It's
is
gonna
like,
be extra special. Okay.
yeah.
All I'm doing is coming in and asking angels to come in and remind you that no one knows what you've been through in life, and that you and only you can have the most compassion for yourself. You deserve to have compassion for yourself and appreciation for all the beautiful things that you do.
Yeah.
And they just come in and do it. Now I'm using my hands. There's certain hand, we do use them. It's not a mode, it's not a hand mode, it's not a clinical kinesiology. It's just a way that the angels showed me that gives them more access to us. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot longer conversation that really, it's really for the class. But anybody who's did not still feel tender, it should be different. Paula should check yours. That should be different. I hope. Yeah, a lot different, right? It's crazy. Every now and then they'll sneak inside those intercostalis muscles, and then we just need a little extra blast from the angels. But yeah, it's real.
Gosh, this is
It's
cool
real, and it's
stuff.
across the board. It's pretty wild.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Wow. I'm not making this up, y'all. I wouldn't do that at all. Oh my gosh. This is
Yeah,
insane.
it's a big deal. And that's where we start. That's the first thing we do. And then we start going into, we look at emotion. Is it emotional, physical, spiritual? And when I go into spiritual, I really am looking at transgenerational things that come through for this work. I'm not a multi-dimensional timeline person. I'm how about, is this something that happened to you or a thought that you brought in? Because we do know our DNA transfers transgenerational information. The other big thing that I'm finding, that I found, and I probably shouldn't say this on here, but I love telling secrets, and that is familial pathogens. How many times, and even the work that you guys have done with people, they come in and say, my mom always, my mom ate rotten pears also. I just love rotten pears. And my mom did that also. Or it's usually something different. My mom had a bad left leg, and my mother had diabetes. My grandfather had bad vision. These are bugs that are coming transgenerationally. I call them familial bugs. And they're real. And it's real, and it's happening more and more these days. I think because of what happened with COVID, we all got a big blast from COVID. So that's a whole nother interview sometime.
Yes, and I would love to have it. Anytime.
As a hypnotherapist, I will often ask, is this energy yours, when they find a frequency like that? And your language is just a little bit different, but it is the same exact thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of hypnosis. It's in my book. You know, it fixed my scaphoid bone that was broken twice. That's the hardest bone in the body to heal. And that's how that's one of the big things that led me into healing, was using hypnosis to heal myself. I bought a 25-cent book at a yard sale. And that's what started it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love
it's a massive surgery. You gotta read my book. My book is a page turner. Everybody who's read it is
totally
like,
going
holy shit.
to. Yep.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely going to.
It's you can turn to any page and start reading it, and it's just funny stuff. There's bad stuff. I never ever imagined I would be working with angels and doing what I'm doing. I just thought I was going to be a farmer. And there's nothing wrong with farming.
No, it's a beautiful thing. We're so glad that you chose this, though.
Yeah, I really feel that, and if we get more people doing this type of work, I really feel like it's going to change our planet.
Thank God.
I would like to take the special offer and open it up and have you go through it real quick. We created this page for you. And I would love for you just to walk us through what's inside of this. I feel like for $111, this might be quite the no-brainer.
Oh, for sure. And there's a two-pay available. Yes.
I mean, this is 111. Of course, Esther and I were just like, let's just get it out there.
Yeah.
We're probably it's going to be 444. I know the numbers are funny, but it's going to be 444 after the new year. But we really wanted to get something here, get people using this. I developed this, designed this. It's one thing, I'm a stickler. I created this to be the best, the most significant self-healing course ever put together. I don't remember how many videos there are, but it also gets into manifestation. How do we manifest if we are full of grief from the past? How do we manifest if we didn't get a job 20 years ago and maybe we've forgotten about it, but maybe the subconscious hasn't. And so
And
that's the body hasn't
Yes.
forgotten it. And
Yeah.
we like to clear all that stuff up. I did a special video just repeatable that you get to look at over and over just for your manifestation, whether it's health, abundance, it doesn't really matter. But I think what the biggest thing here is the philosophy is just amazing because your angels have been with you. They are waiting to come and help us. I teach you all the mechanics of quantum mechanics. And once you have those and start practicing those, it's pretty freaking amazing. It would take me hours just to tell you some of the stuff I've seen, whether it's animals or humans, babies, plants, you name it, you can use this on them. And I also put in a pretty good section here on how to use it on yourself, but all you're doing is imagining you're someone else and they get the healing. It's really,
Interesting.
really quantum. It's really, there's physical causation, emotional causation. Those are the biggest things that I think are happening to people. The manifestation is a simple exercise where we go back as a child and heal a lot of our wounds from the time that we're children. Again, we could have had perfect parents, but we still carry stuff from different times and places and things. And it could have been totally benign. Hey, you just shit your pants, you little bastard. I remember hearing that at age 1, I think. That's one of the things that we do. And that's one of the things we do in the class. I'll bring up shame for people or humiliation, and I'll say, okay, who's all shit their pants? And only one hand will go up. And I'm like, all right, bunch of liars in here. We all have shit our pants. But it's one of those things that gets everyone every time because, yeah, unfortunately, some of us have had that happen. Not me, of course. Not me, only everybody else. But yeah, there you have
Shame
it.
is an incredible
111.
thing too. Wow.
Yeah, I
You
think
can
it's,
see why I
I
wanted
really,
to like, I was like, we have to have you on sooner.
I know. She was like, we gotta
Yeah.
bring him in. He's so cool.
I have to. And I was like, it's just okay.
There is a
what I really
2 pound.
like about Angelic Heart Focus is I really do make it as fun as possible. It's not boring.
I see this.
I've got thousands of dollars of take home classes still. I never even took them out of their box. It's stuff just gets outdated so fast. So this is the
Yes.
future. This is
Oh,
all
I know.
future based.
Yes.
Ain't your angel, it's not mine. Everyone tell me what your angels are doing. The angels I use are the same angels you use, but we do have our own guardian angels. That's the difference with Angelic Heart Focus. TNT, we're just calling on the field of angels, and these are the beach bum angels, what I call them, not the beach boys, but the beach bums,
That's too funny.
because there's a whole bunch of them out there just
Yeah.
waiting for someone to say, hey, I need help with exactly this, and this is what I want you to do. If we go, hey, angels, come in here and help me, they're like, what? With what? You're breathing, your eyes are open, you're eating and sleeping.
Yes.
Yes.
I wish I'm not joking.
No,
they're
they're
very
like, well,
early
what's
on. Hey, we don't know what to do, dude. What do you want us to do? And I'll never forget the first time I fixed somebody's nervous system with them. I was just like, oh my God, they can do that?
That's
Because
fascinating.
they can come in, and it used to take me an hour to try to get the nervous system come online, and now I do it in 10 seconds. And I did it with you, Janice.
Yeah, I know. You did.
I feel like I'm so chill. We can just keep going.
No.
I'm just like, there's nothing like an urgency.
One of the things that Archangel Michael made very apparent to me in one of my channeled messages is that there's an importance to having some very preciseness about our questionings. And the whole thing was like, ask better questions, ask more precise questions. When you said right now, when you're like, Archangel or angels, come help me with this, they're like, okay, what do you need help with?
Yeah.
We're not getting into the basics and the preciseness of it sometimes. And for whatever reasons, and maybe you might know, but it's like the coding isn't quite there to have that question be precisely worked on. I'm not sure, maybe you can expand on that, but that was the message I got too, is that humanity just needs to be asking more questions and more precise, like more help.
More specific, because they know what to do when we're in an auto accident and they somehow save us from dying.
And that's where they override. That's where they override sometimes in the very few where they will step in because we have free will. Everything else is okay, good. Because we have free will, it has to be like us asking and with more preciseness is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Belief and faith is a big part of it. One of our biggest sayings is seeing is believing. That's one of the things that we talk about with TNT. And
True.
I don't remember a class where we have had less than 5 or 10 miracles. I just don't remember it, because people come into the course, people aren't feeling well. They have stuff that no one can seem to help with. It could be lifelong. And we figure out, the angels figure out through the material how to change that vibration, that frequency, or just a vibration. Everything in the universe vibrates. That's all Einstein is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything new, but some of the discoveries are important. Cell wall deficient forms. Who's ever even heard of such a thing?
Right.
No one on here has. Nobody had. No one's ever
Yeah.
even heard of it.
No.
I was in microbiology for 2 years of painstaking, stupid class. We looked at cell wall deficiency forms for 2 minutes. Oh, don't worry about those. Those are just, don't worry about it. I went home and I looked them up, and there's a whole book on them where there's fungi with a virus in it and a bacteria and a mycoplasm. So we really get into all the different things that ail us and drive disease, because they still don't know. How do they not know what drives cancer?
Yeah.
Is there emotional affect around cancer? Oh, no, it can't be emotion. It's a physical thing. Yeah, of course there's emotional affect.
And they thought it was just,
there's
they
also
thought it
other
was
stuff.
hereditary, and we learned that it was more of the, what's the word we always use?
Epigenetics.
Thank you, epigenetics. And so even that was wrong, right? So even that, they were like, no, it's definitely hereditary. It's whatever. If your mom had it, you're gonna have it, blah, blah, blah.
No,
and then they
that's not
realized that
true.
it was more driven by our environment, the things, our lifestyle.
And then they've had where 2 people are in a coal mine and one of them lives like forever, and they were twins or something, and one of them dies of lung disease in their 40s. It's not always environmental either.
Correct.
Yeah,
Which is
it's like
why
all
I'm
the
saying
things
that we don't know, that scientists don't know, but they keep shoving it down our throats as if it's like the God-given truth.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying theory or alleged theory.
Basically,
It's crazy how much stuff now is genetic. They're like, oh, it's genetic. Oh, mom had it.
Yes,
okay, it's genetic.
yes,
Well,
right, ours is genetic.
I bet to disagree. I think it's
agree.
these familial pathogens. I also think there's toxins that they used to drink mercury milkshakes back in the day. How much of that would it take to poison a zygote? And could a zygote carry that forward? So there's all these little things like that, like you just said, 2 identical twins. Why did one, pass away at 45 and the other one is 90? Maybe only one of them got some of that in the utero. So I don't have all the answers, but we've scraped the top off of a lot of stuff to figure out what's going on. Yeah. Crazy.
Fabulous. I'm sorry, you guys, we didn't get to take questions, but if you do have something you want to put in chat, go ahead and do that real quick. As we ask, Dr. T, do you have any final words for today?
Yeah, make somebody smile. Open a door for someone. Help somebody put their groceries in their car. Put a smile on somebody else's face. You won't believe how much joy that brings to you and to everyone around you.
Yeah.
I'm just a big joy guy. I love to crack jokes. I love to make fun. I like to help people. I like people are broken down on the side of the road. Yeah, some in Nicaragua, but I would do the same thing in the United States. They don't need us help as much now with cell phones, but you still see it. And if we can, the more cheer and joy that we can bring to others, the better it is for everyone.
I completely agree. I'm so happy we met you.
I know. Sometimes when we bring on guests, I'm a little bit like skeptical and stand backish, and then I get to know them, and sometimes I'm like, wow. And this is one of those calls where I'm like, I see it. And there's no doubt in my mind
what you're saying.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. It's hard to wrap your mind around. Check if you can read my book.
I'm excited about this. I'm like, I want to learn.
The book you can read that in about 2 hours. It's really small, but it's full of, you'll cry and you'll laugh. And
sounds like our show.
How in the hell did I end up here? It started with my beginning, and it's light.
Is that the 44-page PDF in the program, or is it different?
No, it's this book right here.
Okay.
Van Angel. Yeah, you got I don't think it just came out, so we don't even have it on Amazon yet. It's on our website, I think.
Perfect.
But I'm shocked. I thought, what the hell am I doing writing this book? And oh my God, what a pain. And the response has just been phenomenal. Even my mom loved it. She's read thousands of books. She reads 3 books a week. And so she was like, yeah, I'm glad you kept our family out of it.
Wow, what an amazing call. Thank you so much. That was absolutely.
Thanks for having me. I so appreciate it. Yeah. Have me back. We'll do it again. We'll do something different. We'll make it more, we'll do even more healing. I love doing healing.
And we'll get all the questions answered and everything.
Yeah,
Reaching out.
yeah, we have on our website also, we do have the sign up to, everyone's, oh, I don't want to sign up for another newsletter. We don't do any of that. You guys send out more than I've ever sent.
We
We'll
do, we
send
do.
one
Yeah,
or
he sends
two
them
a
every
year.
day.
We do this group healing. It's pretty amazing. I get really up for it. I really go extra level, and we really do a whole group thing and really get everybody humming. And then we'll find certain people that really need some extra help. And it's
Oh.
really a beautiful thing to see. And
Yeah.
hope to see you on there. And if not, we'll see you next time
Yes.
you reach out. Big
Yeah.
love.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. You guys stick around for just a second. Just a couple of announcements. The biggest one that I've got for you is Mystique, which is our inner circle. We are opening it up for new people to join it. If you're interested and would like a conversation with either Lianka or myself, or you just want to know more about it, just go ahead and reply to one of our emails and just say inner circle, and we will see if we can talk to you and actually see if it's right for you.
And my schedule for the holiday has
Mhm.
opened up. We're going to do some travel, but we
Mhm.
didn't. So that does leave me with a little bit of room, and Judith doesn't know this, but a little bit of room to do some private sessions.
Okay.
So if you are interested, and I did this for another show, it was wildly successful. So I was like, at least let me bring it to our show. If you are interested in doing a private session with me, you can check it out. It is houtehustle.com/Lianka. So you can find that it's super, super reduced pricing. I'm only going to be able to do it for just a little while. So go ahead and book your timing in there. But as soon as you do the payment, you'll get the link to book the time with me. So that will be for a limited time. We have to cut that off, and because we're heading into
Yeah.
I will be busy that time. But if you get on my calendar, then I will definitely have you for that pricing, for that discount pricing.
Love it.
Yes.
Fabulous.
The other thing that I wanted to remind you is that we always here at Haute Hustle, we take it very seriously to give a portion of our proceeds to youth-related causes and women-related causes. This week we had Giving Tuesday,
Yep.
and right now we are supporting risenup.org. And risenup.org, what they do is they take in laptops and tablets and they refurbish them to give to other students and women and people in need for youth and health and education. The other thing that they do is they'll take in money for gift cards and they'll give them to the teachers so that they can give to kids that may not be able to participate in the book fair. So stuff like that just makes things learning and connecting people with education is what they all focus on. So if you're interested in giving to them, they're at risenup.org. Or
it's been in the newsletter as well.
Or you can click the link that is in the newsletter. The other thing is that we've seeded that we have a new summit coming up. It is January 5th through the 9th. It's going to be all about getting back to our reset, rewire, getting back to really being with ourselves and what do we most want to desire and create this next year in 2026. We've had a wonderful year. Let's just keep this momentum going. If you feel like maybe you didn't get the things done that you wanted to, believe me, I know what that feels like too. But we are celebrating our wins and we are moving forth with this beautiful magic that we know we possess. And so really calling forth that to manifest our most deepest desires, whether that's in your business or your life.
Love that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The other thing too I wanted to say about Mystique is that you did tell them that we have the new time and date, right? For those who are members.
Yes, Mystique is going to move this month only to the 17th of December, and it will be at 2 p.m. Pacific.
Yes. So
We will
fun
let
times.
y'all know.
Some fun times. Anything else, Jenna?
We'll come up with it on Tuesday.
That's right. So we are Haute Hustle, and we're just wanting to remind you to take a little time to enjoy the woo. Have a great one. We love y'all.
Bye, guys.